Rainbow 6. Experts in close quarters battle and hostage rescue. Assembled from special forces teams around the world. The counter-terrorism units.
Ladies and gentlemen. So, once again Arknights is having a collaboration with Rainbow Six Siege. And this second collaboration event is titled Operation Lucent Arrowhead. And will be live on the 5th of September. The story is the continuation of the first collaboration, Operation Originium Dust. Once again 4 rainbow operators are getting teleported to Terra. And like the previous event, it's 2 attackers and 2 defenders. For the gacha operators, we have Ella as a 6-star unit, and fitting her role in Siege, she is a trap master in Arknights. But interestingly, she plays very differently than other trap master. Mostly due to how different her talent and trap works. Overall a strong damager, and a flexible unit to throw debuff around. But funny enough, if I get our 6 lore right, Ella is no longer part of Rainbow Team. But well, it is clear Arknights takes our 6 operators in their early version for their game. That explains why Ella can use 4 mines instead of 3. Anyway, we'll get into the details about each operator's abilities in a different video. For now let's see the 5 stars. So first we have Doc, one of the most popular defender choice in Siege. And quite fitting his role as a supporter in that game. Arknights translate that by making him an instructor guard, who can provide healing and barrier. The other 5-star is Iana, our newest dollkeeper specialist. And she is also quite unique compared to her peers. A pretty good physical dealer, and can reveal invisibility. Meanwhile, the free operator is Fuze. And he is a Centurion guard. A solid welfare unit to hold the lane with his S1. His S2 cluster charge might be too situational, but he can deal a high amount of physical damage with it. And yes, it won't hurt friendly units. Before moving on to the skin section, keep in mind these operators are super limited. Meaning they most likely won't come back into the game once the event is over. So your only chance to obtain them is from this collab event. And luckily, Arknights is always generous when it comes to collaboration operators. Because Ella is guaranteed to come home at 120 pulls. Not to mention there should also be a free 20 pulls from the event. Okay, let's see the new skins from this event. In CN the new skins are only for the new R6 operators, minus Fuze, though global probably will be different. First of all, here's the skin for the Frenchman. Then this should be the Rerun Skins. And yes, if Global straight up follows CN schedule. After this event we should get our 6th first collab event rerun. Okay, let's see the event mechanics and enemies. This whole event mechanics is full of Siege gameplay references, which makes me wonder why they didn't do it for the first collab event. Anyway, enemies in this event has special attacks, currently known as straight strikes, that will trigger if our operators are in the same row or column with that enemy. And if I'm not mistaken, it has unlimited range. This special attacks have different effects depending on the enemy, and those are often very dangerous for ranged operators. Luckily, there are barricades scattered around the map that will protect operators from straight strikes. But remember, they are breakable. Some enemies can also expose your operators, and should be indicated by this fragile icon. When your operators are exposed, the enemies can launch straight strikes, even if your operators are behind a barricade. Some stages also have this explosive scattered around, and mostly it is only enemies that can destroy it. Once its HP drops to 0, it will explode, and will stun and damage everyone around it. So this thing is pretty much a double-edged sword. Not to mention some also unlock a new path for the enemies. Next up, much like Monster Hunter collaboration, you can bring 2 of the 3 gadgets to help clear a stage. The first one is a device that can automatically reinforce a barricade. Then we have, pretty much a Jaeger ADS, that will destroy incoming enemy straight strikes. Lastly we have some sort of bomb thrower, that can attach bomb to enemies who step into its laser. The explosion from the bomb should also be able to destroy those yellow explosives on the map. Moving on, let's see who we will fight in this event. It's the Cuban military, I suppose. First of all, we have this hound, average enemy number 1. Then there's a reckless bomber, who can easily destroy barricades and yellow explosives, if you don't block them. Next there's a new drone that can dox you. Then invisible crossbowmen. Their stun can be pretty troublesome. Next up, we have Montaigne. Then an elite that can one-shot a low defense unit. Next there's a camper with the ability to dox you. Now let's see the boss. It's someone called Mateo. Overall not a difficult or tricky boss. In his first phase, his straight strikes deal multiple hits and reduce operators' defense. But when defeated for the first time, he will move to a designated spot, and then entering his final phase, with added abilities like throwing smoke grenades, that makes every enemies in it becomes invisible, and special attacks that can deal stun. But it's limited with ammo mechanism. However, he can replenish it when his bodyguards are near him. And he has that ability to call every bodyguards in the map to his position right away. And this is that bodyguard. They have slow attack, but deal pretty high damage. Not to mention the damage reduction when not blocked. Clearing all of the event stages will give you 29 yellow rocks. And as always, farm event stages, get event currency, and buy items in the shop. And these are the tier 3 materials that have a higher drop rate in the event. Now let's see the new module. Sentinel Defender should get a module in this update. This X module is pretty neat, because it will make them reveal invisible enemies within range. Especially useful in Jessica, because her attack range can expand. Ash will get a second module here. And all the new operators will get a module. But Ella is somewhat special, because she got Delta module. That will make her enter traps able to be deployed on any tile. There will be new operator accords and paradox simulation. This is the new furniture. In CN there's also a Siege themed premium packs, which includes a new lobby background and UI. So expect this too will come to global. That should be all. Adios.